Howdy ho, folks. Hey, Barry, Mal, and Mark. Alright, got an iPad to deal with up first because it's already a day late. And don't like getting too much into the habit of being late with jobs, even though it seems to be a fairly persistent theme with me at the moment. Let me just clean this up. Not that it really matters, but I do like to try and maintain some semblance of professionalism. Alrighty. Okay, we need to increase the font size as well. Come on. I wouldn't call it that early. Okay, 125%, that's pretty good. Okay, by the way, we are running the nVidia T400 encoding card tonight. And we've set all the settings up to absolute maximum. And hopefully it does a better job, so hopefully there's a better quality all around. It doesn't quite seem so chunky anymore. And I'm only running at 6%, but there's a few interesting stories behind what happened today. One of the more interesting things was that when I initially couldn't get the T400 to do the MV encoding with OBS, so I switched it over to software encoding. And software encoding all of a sudden jumped up to use about 30% of the CPU, whereas you remember before when we didn't have the card, it would only be chewing up 20% or something like that, and we wouldn't really be getting a good quality of the video. But when I ran the software encoder this time, it was superb quality, and the CPU consumption was up higher, but it was all, it was running properly. So it's kind of peculiar. There must be something terribly jacked up at the moment with the Alder Lake drivers to make it such that if you're using the graphics, internal graphics, it just seems to choke the life out of the CPU for whatever reason. It's a new chipset, so yeah, hopefully they'll sort that out. Anyway, for the moment, we've got the T400 doing the job, and it'll probably stay that way now, because I am not, I'm not changing back in a hurry. And on the bad news front, let's see. Oh, by the way, the oven now works, and it's pretty hilarious. The fix for the oven is this little clip. Okay, I just take this little clip and I attach it to the triac. I just stick it on the little metal part of the triac, and it doesn't get jammed, it doesn't get locked. And that's because it prevents the triac from getting to the temperature whereby the junctions start behaving weirdly, and it gets to the... if you do audio amplifiers from the old BJT transistor designs, you remember that they can get into thermal runaway, and you'd have to actually deliberately compensate for that. So basically that's what was happening. It was having not really a runaway, but it was getting hot enough that the junctions were misbehaving, so that when you took away the gate drive, it was like, we don't care, we don't need that, and just plowed on through. So that was it. There. The iGPU in Alder Lake is about 6 years old. No, that's the 770 in it now, but they still need to integrate it properly with the rest of the chip. So yes, heatsinks required, and that was the only real difference compared to the one we were using last night and the old one. The old one had a heatsink on it. If Creature turns up, I'll be able to tell him. Right, now the bad news is this happened. Now, many of you know that this here is my very much loved spudger that I have not been able to find a replacement for a decade or so, and it died. It died because I was being stupid, and yeah, so I don't use that end on it. I mean, I could carve it back so it looks like this end. I probably can actually do that, but there's a certain thinness to that tip which this does not have, so it's sort of dead in the water. However, I did order from the UK a couple of months ago some of these spudgers. Now these are all solid metal, they're not chrome plated or anything like that, but the profiles weren't quite right and whatever, and they were a bit thick. However, today, since mine broke, I got to it with the file, the grinding stone, and then some what do you call it, grit embedded rubber, and I made my own version, and it actually works. It works pretty good. It doesn't quite have as much spring as the other one, but it will get me out of strife for today. I don't think I'm ever going to, yeah, given that this is a decade old, I don't think I'm ever going to find this ever again. You can't really weld these because they are scintillated metal. They're just basically little metal particles, and they crush it, and it forms what seems like a solid piece of metal, but it's actually just like lots and lots of little beads. I was going to see if it would be awesome if Alex Still could make a forged version, but I think this is a little bit too intricate. Can't spot weld it. It will it just cavitates, as far as I understand. But alright, now I've got to, I was an idiot. Oh, that seems to be the theme of the day, isn't it? I was an idiot and I did not protect these cable flexes when I did this. Okay, so this is a iPad 7.8 screen, and we're going to have to replace this one. Alright. So where's got this liquid damage on them? Alright, let's get this turned on. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, the spot weld, generally what will happen is the metal will just cavitate back away from where you attempt to spot weld it. If you check on the internet, there's a lot of discussion about how to appropriately or how to effectively weld scintillated metal. Let's see what we've got. Jason Vilmer complaining about something. He's getting hit up because of his last couple of posts. Okay, so we just need this to warm up. We also need our tools. Oh, that's warm. I've also been doing other modifications in the workshop. I'm getting my, let's see, just go back to the face. I don't know if, this is going to switch, but we'll see if I can do it. Can you see that? No. I'll try and rotate you around. Okay. See, I've mounted the light controller for the microscope, and I've just redone everything. And here it goes. It's go back to face. I've got to fix up that cable though. That there. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it so that everything runs a little smoother overall. So it's been busy. Braze weld, yeah, I'm not sure how it would go with brazing, but I suppose it'll always have that weakish spot. And, you know, I'm going to see how this one goes. I've done a few tests on some iPhones, and it does have the fineness that I need. Like I said, the only problem is that it's a little bit softer, so it tends to take on some deformations a little more than the other one did. Okay, now I need, Where are they? Ah, here we are. Opening tool. Ah, shoot. Oh, so much junk gets onto my stuff. Scratch the nose. But now I've run out of IPA in that one. Hopefully this one's not going to be too bad. It doesn't look like a shattered break. It's... yeah. Hey Keith. So hopefully you can tell the difference in the quality of the video tonight. Certainly I found it a lot better. But that could have been just simply my own personal bias. Just realised I did not turn this thing off. Oh, it's off now. Okay, we usually leave that on. Oh man, you guys are filthy. I'm rolling around in the filth. You can count my hairs. That's kind of terrifying. Just turn off that heater. What's kind of helping here is that they've got a tempered glass cover on it. So it is kind of preventing these breaks from inhibiting me when I'm coming down with this separator. Looks the same as normal. Oh, okay, I would have thought it'd definitely be better. Oh well, way to disappoint me. I'm going to assume it's better. Let's hope we don't mess up the Wi-Fi antenna. For some reason I'm having trouble getting it in. Ah, finally. Earth the handle, live the broken sorry, push that into Africa. Okay, Steve, yeah, that's a pretty novel way of welding it. It's kind of like when you weld spanners onto car batteries. Okay, we need the heat back. It's always a little bit unnerving around this area. Fortunately, the real risk is over here because that's where the home button is. Now I'm struggling to... I hate it when you get a cramp in your finger too. Okay. Swing this one down. There we go, that's good. A new retro at 10 minute. Yeah, 555, you're in early. 75. This is set for about that actually. It's just not up to it yet. Yeah, that's why I haven't done that area there for the home button ribbon. To get that area, what I do is I come down the full width there, and then I lift it upright, and I use just hot air and alcohol and sort of just glide my way down. And that way it's a lower risk. Because yeah, you lose that home button and it's not a happy day. People get upset, children start crying. I'm going to leave some of those remarks alone. Okay, this one definitely needs a clean up. They get really gnarly because when I take them out, I forget to put them back into an alcohol bath so that the glue comes off them. And because I forget to do that, they just sit there and they collect dust. Literally. It is a time-consuming job. It is not a job I actually relish, but I do it for the country. Okay, that's as far as I need to go. Shuffle this one just up. I think what I hate about them is that it's so easy to just have one dumb thing happen. Okay. Okay, and at this point what I do is I just start sort of dripping alcohol and sort of filleting it like a reluctant fish. Unfortunately, the way they've cracked it here makes it quite difficult for me to do that. Okay, take this. The tempered glass is actually pretty good. Okay, run some heat, 250, and hopefully this will just peel away. Hopefully. Now I've got to be careful there because those broken pieces of glass can actually come back and cut that home flex. Sadly, have had that happen. Okay, there we go. Hate that. I prefer to try and keep that filter foam intact, but this one's already run, so. Almost feels like someone else has been in here before. Spam bots are back. Really? That's interesting. They're dedicated because they... I've got the 1 minute subscriber thing on, I think. I guess they just have a robot that goes along, does the subscription, and then... Yeah, I guess it's all automated. No one's really actually having to sit there and do anything. Okay. Now this is the nerve-wracking part, where you have to get the LCD to detach from, there's a bit of like bonding elastic on the side, and it's a real game of frickin' chicken. Yeah. Okay, one down. Okay, that one's been reluctant to come up. That is going to go pop any second. Alright. Another Indiana Jones moment done. W. I just realised I should have just taken the panel out before I started messing around with the home flex, but I guess I was just thinking, don't make us smell. Okay, there we go. Have you got a pussy in paint? What? Oh, Steve. Right, I get what you're saying. You had me concerned there for a second. I always take people seriously when it comes to the cats. The noise you can hear is the fume extractor spooling down. Okay. Unfortunately, the home button looks intact. Jaden. Yeah, Dennis, certainly the screens are very expensive, particularly this generation. And I notice on the very latest they are reverting back to having more like the iPhones, where it's a fused unit rather than separate glass. And look, to be honest, I actually kind of prefer it. Yeah, I'd rather just swap an entire screen module rather than having to do glass. And then, yeah, this, it's just easier for me. Selfish, I know. Do you sell batteries while in it? Started looking at what? Oh, this is a fairly new model, so it wouldn't be needing batteries this time. I have done a few, but should do something about the whining sound. Is it, what whining sound are you referring to? Like, I'm presuming it's already stopped. You're talking about the one when I put the hot air away, it whines? Is there something else you can hear? Or are you talking about the people in chat whining? What do they call the filament material between the LCD and the panel? Oh, you mean the plastic sheet? Or something else? Looks like I'm a bit overblown there. Bring that tone down a bit. Yeah, Riston, I found it to be handy. This is actually a broken blade. It's supposed to be longer, but I kind of pushed in on it a bit too much, and it decided to let me know that it didn't approve of being pushed around like that, and it promptly snapped. And so I haven't had a chance to find replacement blades yet, but I definitely want to, because as you can see, it does a pretty good job of lifting off. Crikey. I don't know what that is, but it's surprisingly tough. And it doesn't fit this iPad, even though it was on it. Oh, the OCA bonding. Optically clear adhesive. You do have to be a little careful. You can scratch up the chassis a little bit, but overall it's not too bad. It's one of those things where you just have to feel for it. No, that was just me flicking the edge. Oh, plastic spudger would drive you mad. Yeah, because you just can't get the angle with a plastic spudger, not too easily anyway. Pity whoever has to do that. I do have MacBooks after this, but I had to get this done because it was actually supposed to be done yesterday. But some idiot stayed up too late and then had to go apologizing to the customer. Alright, now we're on the pick up the bits of glue phase. If I can find my... there they are. Fortunately, this one's not too dirty, which is a nice change. Quite often when you get them, they're full of all sorts of stuff. Stuff that you don't really want to be handling. Good thing you wear gloves. I don't have humour. Some gnarly stuff. No, not metho. On 80/20. But I'm pre-soaking it. There is some junk up the top here that I don't like. That's right, B-Blood. Got to remove the DNA traces from these things. You should just drop it into a bath of formaldehyde. Or rather, what you do is you leave it open in a room, and then you get an electric frying pan, and then you pour formaldehyde into the electric frying pan, turn the frying pan on, and leave the room for a few hours. There'll be very little in that room that will be still alive. I'm just going around and digging out any stuff that's residing under the lip. Okay, we've got a bit of junk down here. So I'm hoping Creature will turn up because I really want to tell him what happened with the oven controller. I tried his email, but I think the email address I have for him is a little bit old. I think it was back in 2012 when I last emailed him, so I suspect it changed. It's okay, Miles. You don't have to worry about that. You're not a software developer. Or rather, you don't have a product that I want. B-Dog. This is Andrew Hughes. Laptop I'm working on is deaf Wi-Fi and the cable is okay. What laptop is it? Large batch of UV lamps. What about what lives under the shadows? I know this is painstaking and boring, but it's got to be done. Yeah, I don't have it either. But I agreed to the job and henceforth I must do the job. And to be fair, it's for your own good in the end, as in, if you do a decent enough job with this part of the process, then when it comes to sealing it up, it's a fair bit easier. Yeah, you don't tend to have the issue of it lifting or anything like that. Okay. Alright, so that's that phase done. 15DA. Okay. You got me there. I don't know what to suggest on that one. Okay, now these are a major pain in the backside. You got to be so delicate. I have had to repair one of these home flexes before, and I was unfortunate that the damage was up here, and so I wasn't able to be blessed with simply replacing this portion. I had to actually do a proper flex repair. It was pretty agonizing. Did you get the weird? No, I haven't. I haven't heard from him, so I am yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that. Good God, that's actually warm. With regards to the screwdriver competition, I gotta admit, I'm kind of feeling a bit deflated over that. I was hoping for a little more success for the people, but it was a dud. And it was disappointing as well in just knowing how many people didn't read the part where, yeah, I guess it just happens, but you just sit there and you go, for Australia and New Zealand only, and you still get so many foreigners. Hey, RZ. Okay, I need to attack this from the other angle, because I'm just lifting up the gold foil when I do it from underneath. Here comes the most delicate phase. Damn thing's stuck back down already. Okay. I'm fairly sure my replacement already comes with the camera key on it. Yes, it does. Okay, so we're good. And now, let's see, did that come with... Alright. A weak point I have here is I'm never sure if I'm supposed to be splitting it at the glass ring offset item, or... Oh man. But given the fact that I see most of them already come with a little ring standoff on the glass, I'm going to assume I have to do it this way. You're trucked. Okay, just make sure I don't tear anything. Yeah, and unfortunately the adhesive has come with it. Damn it. Yep, the whole damn thing. Damn it. Oh well. Oh, JCT is the other person I hope turns up. Because we were having a discussion, informative discussion about the track drivers and things like that. And so I just wanted to give him an update. Sandwich styles LCDs are expensive. They are, I agree, but it's sort of, I mean, people buy iPhone 11 Pro, whatever, replacement displays from me. Yeah, that's $200 for them. So people are happy to pay usually. Hey, you user? Yeah, it'd be nice for them to remove the home buttons. Okay, now you're probably wondering what the hell is all this jazz going on over here? Why is there stuff? It's because the other night I was doing an iPad replacement, and for some reason I thought it was an iPad 8, but it was not. And it was only after I basically had everything transferred across that I realized it was... I think it was an iPad 5. Don't even ask me how I got that mixed up, but I did. Now I'm just going to drop the temperature to about 150 for this. I'm just hoping there's enough left there. Hey Commutix, good evening to you, good sir. But yeah, Dennis, it would be nice to see him remove the home buttons and go for just that upslide style. Damn it. Okay, well, at least I know that definitely got sticky. Hey, Warren. I must say, I'm not exactly sure who manufactured this replacement unit, but they did it in a nice way. The film that's protecting the inner glass, inside of the glass, typically they don't cut it back. So when you go to do your fold over, it's quite awkward because you end up you have to pull that protective membrane away. But these smarties realize that's a big fat pain in the butt, and they have cut that recess away, that plastic away. So you can do, and likewise for the home button, they've cut it away so you can immediately stick your home button down. Just small things like that are enough to make me, like, if you've got a choice between two makes of replacement displays and one is say $40 and the other one's $60, I will actually go for the $60 one if it's got these features, simply because of the fact that it saves you so much time and frustration. To me, it's genuinely worth it. Mostly because I'm the one having to do it. Airbus, Zoltan. Yeah, Steve, it's it's when the hot air gets back onto the station. I was pretty sure that's what you were talking about, but I wasn't able to convey it in a sufficiently intellectual way. So my apologies for that. On the downside, I don't like it when you plug these things in and you don't get that satisfying crisp click. When you don't get that, I'm like, did that really go in, or is it, just half and half in? And you start to worry that it's going to come apart or drift out later on. God damn it. Okay. This is the next delicate phase. Removing stuff that's going to fall off without adding stuff onto it. And blowing off stuff that's not meant to be there without putting spittle on it. Aha. I spy with my little piece of foam that was going to come off. Okay, see, that's the sort of click I like to hear. Of course, I don't know if you heard it, but I did, and that's what matters. One device at a time, Paul. I have to tell myself not to try and pick up two things at once, in the sense of I was trying to pick up that metal top plate, but at the same time, anyway, I also need to learn to focus on the job at hand. Noise click over the mic. No, I think that was actually me doing stuff. Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe there is. So you're blowing dust lower than you did. No, it was blowing off dust. Anyway, it's got its protective film on it, thankfully. Otherwise, yes, you'd be 110% correct. I'll also be glad to have this done just so I can get back to doing a MacBook or something. And I find this screw here to be the most difficult to get in without stuffing something up. Steve missed out that opportunity. Okay. I'm not actually sealing it up yet. I am making sure it actually works. Well, the screen comes on, so that's a good start. I apologise I can't put it on screen, but you know how it is. Eek. Okay, touch looks good. Alright, we can seal this one up. I'm never quite sure which one I should actually take off first, like the bottom edge or the top edge. In many ways, the bottom edge is the one that's the hardest to get right. So I'm kind of tempted to go for the top portion first to bond down, and then you've still got some room to push these cables back in because they inevitably pop up a little bit, and you've got to kind of guide them back to their proper homes. Actually, it does make me realize I actually have the home button is drawing out slightly. It's one of those not so easy things to jam in. Hey Rilla. Dennis, I really don't have much need for a Stream Deck. I have actually made my own, and of course I have the automated scene switcher. Which should be working now. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to take this damn film off. Shite, do not do that. the stuff bonds very well. Too well, in fact. So much so that it's actually kind of in love with itself. That is not what I wanted. Oh crap, I see a spot. Get it down, Paul. It's not too bad on the cable bulge here. This is the critical area where you've got to clamp, but make sure that you haven't actually pinched the cables. You have to make sure you've got the force pushing it down, but not actually killing it. And this is right. Yeah, I just realised I'm having trouble reading the... terminate that. Good. That can basically sit overnight. Oh gee, I really hope that's on the outside. Oh Jesus, it looks like it's on the inside. Okay, maybe a little bit too much pressure on some of that there. It's running really close to the actual LCD panel. So I just backed off the clamps. The clamps. Okay. It was just exhibiting some rainbowing effect, when two panels come together. And I thought, that's not good. Right. I'm disgusted to say, but I feel like I've developed a bit of a one of those nasty sweat stinks now because of that. That's anxiety for you. Okay, let's clean up and get to the next job. So I'm very much behind on my schedule because of all the messing around with the new computer, the new bench, just everything. All adds up. You don't think I've got enough clamps? I better order some more. I hope that person doesn't want their tempered glass back. Because that would be a big fat no. Not getting it back. Okay. Put that back into its little house. Yes, it was, Kenny. The clamps. You have to put up a lot of Futurama references around here. And Viva La Dirt references, and IT Crowd references. They're everywhere. Yes, I did see that Futurama got signed on. I'm kind of half and half about that, because quite frankly I thought they ended it quite very nicely with the previous season. So it's sort of, I guess, it's not that I'm anxious, it's not that I don't want to see new episodes, it's just that I'm worried about how they're going to get around, they're going to mess up the ending this time. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Keep doing it until they mess up the ending. Okay, I'm trying to think which machine to work on here. Got to find one that's going to make me look like I actually know what I'm doing, which is pretty rare, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, we've got a 1502 for this hour of the night. 1502. What the? Okay, that was a cat fight. What are you boys doing?
Can you stop being naughty and stop beating up on your brother, okay?
You okay, Mo?
So naughty.
You okay?
Smack your bum. God, he gets so angry.
Yeah.
And then he just takes it out on...
Mo. I thought it was outside. Thankfully it wasn't.
Are they locked in?
Yeah, they're not locked in the house, they're locked into the night pan.
Oh, that's probably why he's angry.
But it was 11:30 or something like that.
That's not enough for Loki.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
But remember, I said to you.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Love you. And I wonder why my adrenaline levels stay high. Okay. Job data. And the power supply reading is not up. Weird, I got a protocol error. Okay, that's new. Switching off multimeter, power supply. Switching on power supply. For some reason it's got a protocol error where it's trying to talk to the power supply and I don't understand why. Oh, come on now. They'll be married over 20 years. And yes, probably she saw the microphone. She thought, right, can't rip into him tonight yet. Wait till he finishes. Okay, let's see if we have any luck now. Weird. Okay, let's find out what's going on here. See if I've got a spare port I can steal. I'm just going to try rig this into another USB port. Fortunately, because everything, all the cameras are now HDMI, I've actually got spare ports. And yes, we have power supply now. And I've just actually noticed I don't think the multimeter's going either. Let's see. The multimeter's cactus. Something happened to the USB hub. Bloody USB hubs. I don't know if there is such thing as a genuinely good quality USB hub in existence. Oh, I'm sure there's a catch. Don't you worry about that. Great. Whole damn thing's gone off. Going for a walkabout. Fine, we'll stick you in a completely different port. See how you feel about that. At which point we'll find the whole system crashes. Oh no, it's come to life. Yep, we got life. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Make the USB hub yourself. I'm kind of thinking I might have to. It's kind of sad that I have to even contemplate that, but alrighty. Okay, this is a certain job where I have to flip it over and take it apart, take the bottom panel off without exposing too much personal information. So you just have to put up with me for the moment. What's crazy with most of the USB hubs is that, yeah, the actual difficult part, the controller chip itself, it's the jelly bean parts. You get them straight from the manufacturer. You basically use their design and try not to cut too many corners. But they do stupid things like connect the DC in voltage to the USB rail voltage and stuff like that. It's just like, why? Raj, do you get 20 volts on... Oh my god, this thing's actually got literal rust in it. Do you get 20 volts on any of the ports? Because if you get 20 volts on them, then at least that means, you know, it's... Your CD3215s are probably okay. And you've probably just got a bunged up USB C connector. Okay, so this is a 2015 A1502. So it's probably going to be a, what do you call it, 4924 board. And they reckon backlight. I gotta tell you though, this thing has not probably been pulled apart because that screw there, okay, I can see junk there. And you've definitely taken this straight out. This screw here looks like it's been under the ocean for a few weeks. Probably should take power out first. It's gonna break my fingernail. We'll use a plastic spudger. Do not use metal spudgers. I mean, unless you want to end up sending it to me. Oh man, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a big problem. Daniel, you won 3 MacBook Airs on eBay for $220 Australian dollars. Assuming that'd be the best donor boards. Just got the first one working. 2017 8GB RAM. Holy damn, that's actually pretty cool. That is okay. If you're only getting 5 volts, and yeah, you've probably got CD3215 issues. Ah, my switcher isn't running. Multimeter. There we go. Stupid technical difficulties. Come on. You little bastard. Sorry, I'm just trying to feel my way around here. Okay. Alright, we're back to life. I cannot get cool at the moment. There seems to be a lot of humidity or something. Anyway, yeah, that's just going to be a spicy removal, that one. So I'm going to use side cutters and an angle grinder. Now my biggest concern is that if the actual stud on the board starts turning, we are in big trouble. The other problem is that this is a pretty big... Nah. The side cutters will, all they'll do is they'll crush and lift because it's just too big for them. Okay, let's see if I can dig this out and hopefully we can get a workable socket to use. I feel like there is enough there. There's enough like points. I can probably get away with it. It's kind of sloppy. If I F this up, I'm going to have to probably use a Dremel. Alright, we got it. I hope. Voila. That was entertaining. Okay. Get back to the task at hand. This is some corrosion up there. It's actually been a while since I've done one of these anyway. So, I have to try and remember. Miles, how dare you say lucky? That's offensive. I took my time, I was careful, I assessed the situation and chose a course that got me through the terrors that lay either side. And you say it was luck. Eli, the computer guy. Ah, shit. That's no good, Travis. There's nasty stuff. I don't think there's anyone in this world whose lives have not been touched one way or another by it. Oh, we've got a creature in here too. There's a very dead spider. How many labels do you usually print for a job? Usually 4 per job. 4 per job covers most of the things. Occasionally I'll have to bring up 5. That's probably a little on the bright side. Looks like fungus took this one out. Yuck. Well, it's taken a while for us to get this apart. Looks like we're out of practice. I think it's probably been 3 months since I've had the opportunity to have one of these in the workshop. You just don't see them very often. Plenty of 1466s, but not so much these. See if the memory serves me well in remembering all the tricks and such. You know, in spite of all the extra lights, I still feel like it's dim. It's the beetle? No, it was the spider. Yeah, man. So walk that one out. Okay, with these boards you don't actually detach the fan. You take the fan out with it. This could end up being actually just a bad cable. We'll have a look on the board. But it's entirely plausible it's just a bad cable. I mean, agreeably, there was a whole bunch of corrosion that nearly killed the SSD. Thanks, Daniel. I'm enjoying it. It is better than before. So yeah, spots of corrosion there, nothing bad. The actual LCD connector on first looks seems okay. This is a 2.7 gigahertz, 8 gigabyte RAM unit. Smidge of corrosion there, but it's not really a problem, that one. They were exceptionally lucky that that did not end up a lot worse with that SSD removal, the screw. That so easily could have gone bad. Okay, so yep, it's a 4924. The other possibility. Okay, so we've got something here. This looks moderately nasty. I'm just bringing up the board view for it. That is the wrong screen, buddy. It's more like it. So what we're looking at. So this here. So 1V05 PCH. Ah, jeez. Oh, okay. Well, that's got nothing to do with backlight, but it certainly could inhibit things running, that's for sure. So we'll take note of that, but we're going to flip it over and see if we can find something a little more related to backlight. There's a little touch of corrosion there, but nothing bad. Now I could just run straight to the backlight circuitry, but I prefer to have a look all around, because even though symptomatically it seems to be running, but there's no screen, you don't know for sure that it's because of the backlight. Okay, there is an issue here. It got real close there. Not quite sure what that chip does. Right, so that is not a solder ball in between these. This is the temperature sensor, by the way. It's just a piece of random shiny stuff that happens to look solder ball-ish. Oh, here we go. Now this is more like it. Yeah. Okay, so what is that? That's, oh god, it's near the TPS. God help us all. Okay, nice thing is I can run quad display without killing the stream. Now, which one are you? I'm pretty sure you're that. 5 YESO enable, ground. Okay. Top right corner of the board I see. Oh no, now if we're going to play this game, remember you all have to get your own board view and schematic out so you can give me actual numbers. Otherwise I will make you rue and lament the day that you suggested something. Okay. Well, no great surprise that's not shorted. I mean, it's gnarly, but it's not shorted. So this is your backlight driver. So I'm just going to see what this is. I think that's a MOSFET for the backlight output. Where are you, Paul? SMC. Yeah, it says Q7700. And yep, I was right, it's the input MOSFET. Okay, so we have pin 1 has got junk around it and maybe going into pin 6. So pin 1's here, into pin 6. Well, the fact that they're actually all the same cluster there, which will be this block basically, it doesn't really indicate any sign of forgiveness grief. We'll replace it anyway, but basically these 4 pins here, they are all one solid connection. And then you have, what is it, pin 3 is ground, and then that there is the gate drive. I'm going to check the fuse. It might be a rare chance for the fuse to be faulty. Do you leave the heat socket on till you finish visual inspection? Yeah, I do leave it on. Not too often. I find it's something under there. The fuse is actually intact. How disappointing. I'm going to suck the fun out of that one. Okay, so we'll basically go along, we'll fix that up, replace that, and then that 1V05 that we saw before. Hopefully I haven't missed anything else. There is a lot of this grit on the board. It's entirely possible one piece of it is... Yeah, we probably should replace this too. It does have a little bit of corrosion around it. Better get myself another 4924. Let's see... 4924 with a great big hole in it. Sounds good to me. Oh, I also dropped the extractor down a little more. So yesterday, the fume extractor, yesterday it was sort of standing about 40 millimeters above the bench. Now I've got it so it's only about 10 millimeters, 5 to 10 millimeters. And it just means I can now glide the microscope over it a lot easier than what it was before. Chances are nothing wrong with this. Obviously, some people, would prefer to run the board and see what's going on first, but since we do have clear corrosion, I may as well clean it first. And I've got itchy nose, damn it. Damn itchy nose. We'll go full microscope view here to get the full experience. There's a devil in the gate drive. Well, we'll soon find out. I'm very happy with how the extractors worked it out. It took a few iterations of sitting there, twiddling my thumbs, feeling pretty dumb, and then getting frustrated. But I'm quite happy with how it's running now. In spite of the fact that I don't have the restrictive shroud over it. Okay, so this is the MOSFET for the power going into the whole backlight system. Now I could see if I ran the board, I could actually test to see if that was doing its job or not. It should have come off by now. This has been rather rude. Wow, you really were rude. And then you dropped onto the board while still having hot solder. I think I'm missing out on some jokes online. Daniel, you're referring to the fact that I use a microphone stand thing to hang my leads over slightly up and behind me. Is that what you're talking about? Wow, this really is lacking the punch to get this chip off. Some serious that is a monstrosity. That really did not want to come off. I mean, for goodness sake, it's a SOT 23.6, it shouldn't hold on that hard. It's funny, the legs that I actually don't really need to have any sort of excess gets all the excess. You could technically leave those bridged. We're not going to, but you could technically. Damn it. It's... the ground plane in this area is exceptionally hungry. Wireless probe multimeter. Probably unlikely that'll ever happen, but you never know. Still, for the work that we do, we don't really require a lot of precision or accuracy. 1% is more than ample for what we're doing. Oh, at least that came off easier. Circuit Wars MOSFET. Sounds like someone's a Star Wars person there watching Disney Channel. I think I only watched about half an episode of the Boba Fett thing. Wasn't quite feeling it. But there is one movie that I'm somewhat excited to see that's coming out, and that will be the next Doctor Strange movie. The Universe of Madness. But apart from that, I've pretty much, these days I've got superhero fatigue, as it were. I haven't even bothered to watch Far From Home, or not Far From Home? Yeah, Far From Home, with Mysterio in it. It's just, it's there, I can watch it, but I'm just like, meh, I'm done. I'm all superheroed out. But Doctor Strange I sort of consider to be a little bit different. So we've got some corrosion on the tracks there, I just noticed. And it's running straight past a couple of data lines. So we'll have to scratch those back and see what's going on there. I'll just clean up this first. It's just you singing Sweet Chariot. Okay, I realise there is one other part that we have to replace, so don't let me forget that. Okay, so in the middle here, there is some delaminating. I don't think the track is damaged, but I am kind of curious as to how far that damage went. That's really actually run quite a distance, that has. Oh, maybe it is killed through. You can see where the corrosion sort of front sort of stopped for a bit. Looks like it's a dead end there. Alright, seems like the track's okay. Or at least it was until I exposed it. Let's get a 2-inch chisel and scrape the board from top. That would be fun. That's kind of what they do in China when they make our donor boards. Okay, there's actually a third track in there that I didn't see. But I have a feeling it's probably okay. It looks like it's... Alright, okay, I think these are... Oh no, that's current sense there. So we've got this one here. So that test point there. I'm just going to check if we've got continuity. Okay, we're good. Okay, and we have that 1V05 area that was damaged. If I can find it. Huh. Wasn't it around here somewhere? Or was it on the other side of the board? Oh, it was on the other side. There we go. I'm gonna wash this down with some 80/20. See what it looks like. I'm going to solder both ends of that resistor, and if it lifts up, I'll replace it. If it doesn't, I think we'll be good. And I'll give it some assistance with heat. We'll just get some solder down there first. Too much. Okay. And all this, and we still haven't actually bothered to test to see if we have a backlight problem or not. But these were all problems that need to be addressed, so you know, no time like now to do it. And now we can put it back into the chassis and see what happens. Let's put some paper down so that I don't ruin the customer's stickers. Okie doke. Now, we can't go being all nasty towards customers. Without them, I'd have no money. And then I would have to spend my days begging on the internet. And you would find that rather irritating. We still have the possibility that this is in fact a dead LVDS cable, or even a dead screen for that matter. It's entirely plausible either way. Okay, we need our macOS boot stick. It's been a while since I've actually plugged one of these in live on stream. What a strange sensation. Okay. Let's get our MagSafe 2. Power on. Oh, I can appreciate the deep wounds, believe me, I can. We're drawing 600, so we're about right there. And someone forgot to press the option key, so it's going to be a bit late now. By the looks of it, I think they've cleaned their screen with the, what do you call it? Listerine. Yeah. So they reckon its backlight's fried. CPU is warm. Oh no, we're alive. Suck it, we fixed it. That's a nice experience. Might have been the MOSFET, I don't know. Honestly, I understand from a learning perspective, the way I repair things is not very effective in the sense that you don't know what caused the fault. Was it the MOSFET? Was it the 1V05 cap? Was it the little chip that I replaced up by the SMC? You don't know, because I replaced them all before I tested. But when you're just churning these things in and out, as opposed, you go into janitor mode, you churn it out, and that's it. And if you get one that sticks on you, as in won't get fixed, that's when you start learning. Hey, you smeller 81? Curious to see if the fan comes. Oh, we don't have a battery active on this. I'll just plug the battery in and see how it behaves. Okay, the battery is plugged in. It doesn't show up though. I do have the broken parts saved over here. It feels sluggish. We're not charging. I don't think it sees the battery. I also don't know how long this has been down and out though. Energy saver. Yeah, I was thinking the SMC as well. There was crud there. It did more look like rock crud. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might actually just be a bad battery. I'll check the diode value for the I2C lines. Hey, Unamara. More, it is too. Yeah, it's past midnight now. Quite right you are. Oh, maybe I didn't have the battery fully plugged in, I think. Yeah, maybe that works now. Could it be so simple? Let's try that again. And this time I'm going to hold the Option key down. Yep, it's charging now. You can see up there the current's up to 1.8. And the speakers are all grizzly. Oh, sorry you can't sleep there, Unimar. I typically lately haven't been able to sleep until about 4 o'clock in the morning. So, good evening to you, and hopefully this terrifying face will actually put you to sleep. My hair's all messed up and everything like that. Been a hot day. Don't sleep much. Been working in the shed. Okay, let's get back to the overhead. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. No dramas there at all. Yeah, I see all the insulting remarks. Is that rain outside? By the way, a couple of your friends did ask for some MacBooks, but it's just been unfortunate. I haven't had any really come through. It's just been a real dead zone for new machines, I'm sorry to say. I haven't forgotten them, I've been thinking about it, but I just don't have anything to offer, so I feel pretty bad about that. Okay, so we're doing 45, 50 frames per second. This thing is good. So we'll go for an ultrasonic clean, and we are repaired for once in a long time. Shut down. Yeah, it really does look like I can see the fringes of the old coating layer. Funnily enough, we actually don't get a lot of rain up here. In where I am. Townsville and Charters Towers are fairly devoid of rain. Townsville has a geographic quirk that means that it's more like a dry savanna area. But yeah, you go nearly 100 kilometers north up to Ingham, and then a little bit further go to Tully, and it's raining like anything in those places. Yep. Fortunately, we have the great big Burdekin River go past us, so if it rains up there, we get the rain in the river, which means our supply for the town is quite secure. Okay, I've just got to fill in the details for this job. Towns were protected by the Powerpuff Girls. Well, they could do a better job of making sure it gets the right amount of rain at least. Okay, 1189. Pardon me. Let's see, what parts did we replace? Q5158. Q558. Q7700. C8187. And then on the other side of the board, R1275. Oh, I almost forgot to make note about the fact that the SSD drive screw was almost impossible to remove. Okay, that's done. Easier if I remember to do that sort of stuff now rather than later. When I'm too tired, don't care, and yeah, then I'll find out later that I forgot what I was doing. What do you know? Then you mess up the job. The customer gets angry. Where's my job? Why haven't you done it? And rightfully so. What do you clean nasty screens with? I actually don't do it. I leave it to other people to do it. It's too much of a liability issue for me. Because if you get liquid into the screen and you ruin the screen, it was a screen that was working before, it just looked a bit ugly. But now it's a dead screen. Yeah, that's on you. So it's not a risk I'm taking. And most people are more than happy to go silly and bring out the Listerine and clean it themselves. See ya, Jim. Okay, now we can remove the fan because we are going to put this into the ultrasonic tomorrow. Not tonight, tomorrow. The ultrasonic tank is my next project I have to deal with because I need to make it so that it's quiet. Because right now, obviously, it's in the open and you run the ultrasonic tank and you know, it's like 1,000 bees trying to attack you. And it's just not good to have that kind of intensity running around in the room. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's really loud. I mean, you can tell it's powerful, but I'm fairly sure it does have some degree of damage to your hearing if you stick around in the room. Boink. Yeah, Travis, I mean, you're right. They will get angry regardless, but at least that's all they're going to get with me. They're just going to get angry at me, and they're not actually going to have any claim of liability towards me. But as soon as I take that job and I muck it up, then I'm in trouble. I'm actually, you know, it's going to come out of my wallet as opposed to just have a disgruntled ex-customer. And most of the time, you know, once they cool down, they come back anyway for other future jobs. I mean, I'm not relying on that. But, yeah, life's already stressful enough without adding more risks. I mean, you can't be scared of everything. In the end, I suppose it's a case of choose your risk level. What are you comfortable with? It's probably different to what someone else is comfortable with, and that's okay. Hey, Pantella CV. Oh wow, body's slightly grumpy. Okay. I need to find a new place for all my job containers like I've got another 20 or so. I've got to put them somewhere because I've taken them away from where they were, which was on the, or in front of the computer. But I've sort of changed things around up here. Now, I'll just keep shuffling them around until one day they'll stop being shuffled and I'll go, right, well, that's their new home. Okay, should we try one more machine? What are you? 1534. That's a big fat pass on that. We will not do a 1534. No siree. What have I got here? Oh, shite. God damn it. Let's try. Whoops. I'm trying to take the sticker off. The job sticker off. Okay. (2017). So what is this? 06? 1706 it is. Yep. Yeah, well, the reason why I'm not doing the 1534 is because I know that's going to be a data recovery job, and I do that in a bit of a different way, as in you have to have the other machines prepped to capture the data and things like that, so yeah, man, here I go again, shifting motherboards around. Okay, so this is supposedly had liquid damage, so I may as well just take the bottom off straight away. Alright, looks like Paul has to... Okay, now we'll try. That's better. I don't really know if they're not removable or not after a period of time. I mean, they can be difficult. These are just standard Dymo removable labels. So if there is a adhesion issue, then that is Dymo's fault. Why does your name auto post this V2 long number? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. V2 long number. I don't even know what you're referring to. Oh yeah, that's had some liquid in it. This is probably very dead. Surprisingly, it looks clean, but yeah, it's probably very dead. Looks like it went straight to the display connector. Where are you seeing that, Arnold? Yeah, where are you seeing that information? My chat to... Oh, I see. Right. That's weird. Oh, well, that is actually just from the barcode scanner. And that will be the version of the code that I'm using. It will be the job number, and then some key information. I see it now, yeah. Because basically what the barcode scanner does, well, as most of you should know, it's just a keyboard wedge type thing. And so it simply punches out whatever it reads in the barcode. Now normally I have it so that the output of that keyboard is captured. But I think I missed it that time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the battery is probably cactus too. I can see up there it's got damage. I'm actually just going to go straight for this display because it's almost 100% certain that this is a dead end. The T-com board is soaked. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a T-com board as bad. Oh yeah, that's completely crispy. That's a dead CPU. Ah, crap. I'm really getting sick of these jobs that are just dead. Yep, very, very wah wah wah. There's very little hope of that one. Oh, what the flip? Anyway. Does it include your bank account number? If you're really good, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, there's really no point me disassembling this, to be honest. I mean, in many ways you want to assemble it just simply so that you can tell the person I tried. But in all honesty, that's just a death sentence. I'll put the USB plug on it and see what happens. Oh, I'm hoping my new microscope camera should arrive this week sometime. Here we go. I don't know actually if it's got a cap between the. Helps if you turn it on. Oddly, holy crap! I'm actually getting 750 milliamp, 800 milliamp. Inconceivable. Oh, now it's down to 300, 500. $250. Ah, that's not quite so good. See, Paul Glick. So we are getting 20 volts, but of course that's because the CD3215 areas are pretty clean. But the CPU, not so much. I'll see if we're getting any external display output on this. Big sparks flew out of that. What are you doing in the rubbish bin? I don't know if this will work or not. Alright, it doesn't want to communicate that way. That's okay, we'll just do it on this side. Okay, we've got 20 volts, we've got our high current. You never know, it might be working. I have my doubts. No, I just realized normally you have to just disconnect the display, sorry. I'm just disconnecting the display from the board. Try again. As I'll be very surprised if it works. Something just fell from the roof. There's the gecko. And we're down to 250 milliamp again. And this is a genuine, what do you call it? Genuine to work with MacBook interface. Let's see. No trackpad click, nothing. So yeah, she's no cap locks either. He's very dead. I wonder if it temporarily comes on. No, still dead. Oh, actually, I know. Like, give me a second here. I did partially disassemble some stuff, so. But still, it would have still come out with some activity. Yeah, I've got click. So we do have trackpad click. No spin, no chime. Looks like click's all we got. Yeah. No cappies, so yeah. Can you use the chipmunk on this? Yes, you can actually. Oh wait, we've got cap lock. I thought I felt fan spin. We actually have a cap lock. And we got... What the frick? This actually boots? So they basically need a new display. That is unheard of. Alright, I guess we're taking it out. Have a look. I gotta admit, I really thought that was a dead CPU. That's booted, yeah. I don't even know how. You yourself did see the burning of the connection. I'll have to see what board it is and see if it is the one that has the capacitor isolation between the lines. Now you can use a 1708 screen on these, and I do have a couple of those. I'm as shocked as the rest of you. This will probably be the first one that I've had where that back display section is completely wrecked and yet it still boots. Though I'm unsure as to why. Oh, I know why. It doesn't display external because you actually have to get in and say I approve of using the display to the external. That's why it wasn't showing anything. Another unfortunate design decision from Apple, making our life that bit harder. So many screws to be done tonight. Ouch. Yes, no external until you sign in. I mean, I can sort of understand a bit. I'd say more often than not, it's a disservice than it is a service. It's like inconveniencing a few billion people to save one person. But certainly the screen is cactus, or certainly the T-Con board is no good. The screen itself might actually be okay, unlikely, but it might. But I don't have any T-Con boards to change over. At least not a PS5. 65 screws just to get one plate off. That's absurd. Why would they do that? I mean, from a assembly perspective, from a time saving, from a efficiency of the factory sort of thing, why is that many screws? Well, it sounds like someone was just having a joke and they actually went with it. Okay, we just need a little bit of hot air on this. Just to gently lift up this flex. There we go. If you try to get that up without using a bit of hot air or being extremely gentle, then it's going to be a no touch ID for you. Hey, Anonymous. Cooling a lot of NAND controllers with the plate. See, now that's just bad engineering. It's kind of like the they'll say that, oh no, we're being efficient, we're actually making the plate have two purposes. But it's bad engineering for the fact that it's going to be very dependent on the pressure, and you know it's going to drift over time. So you probably expect problems down the road. Try to start boot disk, will it display? I don't believe so, no. It's something I have tried in the past, and no, it doesn't. Honestly, this board legitimately does look fairly okay. It very much seems like the battery and the display were the primary victims here. Plane failure, I suppose. Or maybe not intentionally plane failure, but kind of like an apathetic approach. Like, we're not going to worry if it does fail. Besides, the PS6 will be out by then, they say. And I'm not worried about these, because these are actually under... Oh, wait, no, this one's a goner. Look at that. That is a burn mark. That's going to have to be replaced. That's a pain, because that is underfilled. Oh, God, no. Why me? Alright, that's okay. Don't need to panic too much. Yeah, that is... that's quite the pimple on it. I'm actually surprised it's getting 20 volts. Yes, delightfully underfilled. Amazingly, the CPU and GPU regulator areas are untouched. It's somewhat baffling me as to why that 3215 has that defect and yet still works. Okay, so it's a 923. CD, yes, the it's working and it's finished for the most part. The alpha phase is finished. We're now in the let's tweak it and adjust it phase. So what job's this? 1194. Wait, didn't we just do 1194? Did I put data into the wrong job? No, it does not seem so. Oh boy, let's see. CD3215 with internal Fisher. Destroy display unit. Battery likely damaged too. So 820, what did we say? 00923. Okay. We don't actually... Okay, we do have 923, but really it's 239 board that we use. So which one is it? That's actually CPU side on the left. So it's U3200. Okay. Oh, that's right. We were going to check the display to see if it's capacitively coupled. Pit 13, 15. Nope, they are not. It goes straight to the CPU on this one. That is freaking amazing. Alright, where does this one go? Where's our backlight? What's the one near EDP? Yeah. Okay. But the one it actually shorts with at the other end of the cable, because it doesn't short on the board, it shorts on the T-con board, and there is a different, what do you call it? Different pin next to it. Anyway, but this here will have to be replaced. And I've got to admit though, what I might do, and you're going to go, oh, you're a real Nancy, Paul. What I'm going to do is actually find out if the customer actually wants their data off first. Because if something goes wrong with this process, say I have a slip, I damage the board and we can't get it to boot again, then yeah, that's rather unfortunate. So it's perhaps better if I check with the customer and say, look, do you want me to first get the data off? Or are you okay with no data, and we'll just take it as it comes. Okay, why have I not marked my screens here? Customer needs to buy a lottery ticket. They most certainly do indeed. I mean, look at that. That's just... The only thing I could possibly think of is that it was such a swamping of liquid damage that other things took it out before it finally got to do what it wanted to do under... Oh, you can't see, sorry. But, well, you've seen the damage before. But yeah, basically it's sort of like maybe just so much damage occurred that it already had shut down before it really died. Okay, now... Right. I need a screen cable. And then I'll see if it works with this one. Hey, NZ. No cable. No cable. 9 cable. There's no cable either. And no cable. Oh well, this sucks. Alright. To the other bat room. Let's see, just checking the containers. No, nothing in any of those. Kind of suckety sucks. I've also got this one, which I'm pretty sure does work. This had a dead CPU. Yeah, I'm just gonna go in the other room and see if I can find one of those. I'm surprised I don't have more, but yeah, I guess I don't. The room of disorganized parts and stench. I have ordered some organization containers, because half the problem is fitting them into the workshop in the first place, but I'm hoping I can utilize the walls a little more. Well, I must say that's disappointing there. I do have another container to check though. Where are you? 1708. Aha, found yours. Oh, seriously? I've got so much stuff here and I have no connector. I do not have a single display connector. There are words I wish to use for myself right now. It's quite frustrating when it's something as simple as that. I suppose the question is, could I resurrect the old one? Is it truly badly, impossibly damaged, or does it have a chance? Is there another machine I could maybe pilfer from? Wonder 1707 should have the same one, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the 1707 has the same display cable. No, anyone want to yes/no that for me? I seem to recall they have. Well, they both have the same kick out. I still cannot get over that CD3215 being alive. It's just ridiculous. I'm not sure which one. I was watching it the other night and I didn't take note, unfortunately. Well, here goes something. I don't even know if this display works or not. Judging by the lack of a logo, probably not. Oh, that's right. He had the one where he tried to inject voltage for the backlight. Yeah, this should have come up by now, so I'm going to guess this screen's no good. This is actually blimmin' tricky. So put some paper in the back here, just in case there's a risk of a short. It could be maybe that the backlight output is destroyed. Yeah, maybe it is actually generating some kind of display, but we can't see it. Let's give it a little bit longer. Okay, no. Oh, I'm going to check the backlight. Probably things like the if there's any filters on that line for the backlight, that would be something to look for. Okay. Doesn't look like there are. No, certainly not scope time. Yeah, you're right. This is actually just like what Vince was dealing with. Hello, Vince, if you happen to be watching. You're probably not. But if you happen to ever come across this moment, look at me, I'm dealing with the same trouble you are. We could always check F8400, but that's a Hail Mary, that never happens. Yeah, it's up there. I would laugh rather extensively if this was blown. And of course, we are obviously not that lucky. That would have been just simply too much to bear if we were that lucky. Yes, using the torch is certainly one way of... It's a lot harder with these sort of screens, but every now and then you can just get that angle just smidgingly right. All these components look really good. I would sooner expect... Oh, did I even look at the quality of the connector on the board? I just blindly installed it. That was a bit daft. Okay, this filter sometimes takes a hike, but it's there. I've had ones where the whole board got ruined because that thing just turned into a molten puddle of metal. Sometimes all you need to do as well on these is just actually put them through a PRAM reset. I know it sounds silly, but it actually has worked for me once. Maybe it was coincidental, I'm not sure, but I do remember thinking I'm never going to solve this, and then I thought, oh whatever, we'll just PRAM reset, and then it came up. It was because it was conflicting with the anticipated ID of the screen. Customer display, you know, would be incredibly lucky if we'd, but Apple wouldn't take it anyway because all the markers are off. Unfortunately. But yeah, really, that just stumps me to no end. I don't know how that's working. I do know that I've got a couple of FlexGate screens in here, but you should still get some sort of, you know, flickery activity. Well, I've got two others. Whoa, you sound really nasty. Makes me think you're a perfect candidate. That was a long time ago, that one. Oh, you are the dead one. Yep, 20 volts again. I'll see what the backlight's going to read 50 volts. That's the problem with these newer machines with their T-con boards, is they will tell you that there's 50 volts on the backlight, but okay, in this case not. I'll try reset it again, see if it pops up. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. And if it doesn't do that, then it's probably not sensing the display. Okay, this one's not sensing the display, so we'll try a different display again and do the same test. Oh, so I didn't even have those connected. That's why they wouldn't have worked. You kind of need them. They are backlight, well, one of them's backlight, one of them's camera. Slightly flex-gated. But yeah, you definitely need those connected. Surprisingly tricky little bastards to get back on. It depends on the security model, I think, that the customer has set up on their machine. Some people it's activated, some people it's not. Still nothing here. Crap. Okay, I've got one more. I've got one more. Well, definitely not seeing anything. Kind of wonder if it may be. Let's see if backlight enable comes up anywhere. Okay, there is a. Okay, we do have a test point, and it's big enough, just big enough for me to be able to access it. And we're gonna go. It's the backlight enable line. And that is not enabled. No. Well, yeah, so I don't know whether we've got a problem with it not sensing the display or whether it's something else. Or, you know, maybe it's completely and utterly chunked itself. It's going to be blooming hard for me to test without knocking something off. Yeah, we're just getting no activity whatsoever. No volts, nothing. It's not even interested. V3, V3 SO. Actually, that's a good point. Anonymous. Yeah. Should check that. It's actually. It is accessible. Thinking it wasn't going to be, but it is. As long as I don't short out something. And we do not have 3v3. No, we don't even have that. Let's see if we get 3v3s5. I mean, I dare say we have got those things. I'm just going to verify that it still actually does boot to the point where we get that, what do you call it, touch bar coming up. And then I dare say we probably should call it for the night. I have to get these plugged in because they are the touch bar. Actually, it's odd. It lets you see the touch bar. It's normally under security. Normally you wouldn't, I don't think you should be able to see that. Oh well. Oh, I don't have I don't have trackpad anymore. Ah, I've done it again. There we go. Good on you, Magoo. Thanks, Greg. That reminds me, I haven't seen great, no, brain fail. Okay, so we've got click back. Got cap locks. And we've got that. Peculiar as hell. Wonder if I try to plug it in now that it's booted. Oh yeah, it's switched over. Alright. We can get their data off. I hope. Yeah, we'll get their data off and then we'll decide what they want to do. Being a 1706 with a dead screen, ooh, it's a little bit feisty. Okay, I think we need to go to sleep on that win. I fear I'll lose it. Ah, I need a mouse now so I can shut it down properly. Hopefully this mouse works. Mouse not responding. No, I think there is something wrong with that mouse. Okay, I'll grab the one from the other room. Nope, still nothing on that one either. Maybe it expects the device to be present before it. No, okay, I wonder if... No, that's not going to work either. We're just going to have to power kill it, unfortunately. Oh well. Still, that was great. Yeah, at least I'll have semi-good news to give to the customer. It's not the greatest, but it's semi-good news. Like if they've got a... And we don't know what state the keyboard's in yet, although we will find that out at least. But the battery's likely going to need replacing, the screen will be replacing. So you're easily looking at $800–900 for everything, and all of a sudden it's not overly economical to proceed with it. So we'll see how they go. Alright then, listen, time for me to finish up for tonight, and let's see, I've got other projects to work on tomorrow, but yeah, we should still be able to get another stream in. But I appreciate you all being here tonight as always, and sorry we didn't quite have a full finish at the end there, but we did at least get that one repair on the 1502, which was nice to have for a change in life rather than the constant supply of dead, dying machines, CPUs. And I know, people get a bit sick of the 1466s as well. So, alright, I'm out of here. You take care. I'll catch you later. Till then, see ya.